Hi, welcome. Please, if you are coming in, let me know in the chat if you can hear me and you can see me okay. So go ahead and post a comment if you're just tuning in live. I am so excited for this one, guys. I'm going to show you a little bit behind the scenes on how I batch 1 month of YouTube content in 2 days or less. So if you're also watching the replay, please let me know in the description box. So let me know, give me your name, where you're tuning in from, if you're comfortable, what city, country. I love to kind of like see where this community is going. So yeah, let me know. Okay, so let me just pull up my slides. Or actually, first, I do like to start off these live streams congratulating all the new members that have been coming in through these live streams. So if you don't know, I host a membership called Vision to Views Academy. And this is where I walk you through step by step how to grow your YouTube channel and how to sell your educational digital products using YouTube and email marketing. So if you are curious to know all about it, here's the QR code. Let me make sure that should work. So try scanning that with your phone. It should take you to the landing page of Vision of Views Academy. Otherwise, you can just type in hellosanity.com/Vision to Views Academy. And I'll also link it for you in the description. So whether you're here live or you're watching the replay, just check out the description. It's probably the easiest way. But yeah, so we meet once a week where I answer all of your questions and we work through your goals and how to basically grow your YouTube channel, your unique niche, and how to sell your educational digital products. So let me go ahead and I'll take this off here so I can pull up the slides. Let's see here. Okay. Hi. Yes, I'm seeing some comments here. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'm so happy you're here. So as I'm going through the slides, please let me know if you have any questions at all. I will absolutely answer them at the very, very end. So I'm seeing Milton, Canada. I'm also in Canada. Hello. And from Michigan. Amazing. I have some family in Michigan. So yes, please let me know where else you're tuning in from. So as we are going through, I'm not even on the right slide here. Let's start from the very, very beginning, guys. Spoiler alert, I'm announcing a free series if you saw that slide. But if you have any questions as we are going through this, please let me know in the comments. Okay, South Africa, yes, New Jersey. I'm so glad you guys are here. Okay, so I'm going to pop into the comments in a little bit. Let's get through some of these slides because, again, I'm so excited to share this with you guys. So we are covering how to batch film a month of YouTube videos and how I do it in 2 days every month. So this is for you if you are thinking of starting a YouTube channel or you already have one. And this is for you whether you are working a part-time job, a full-time job, and you're building this on the side, right? Because that's what I did for a few years. I built my YouTube channel on the side. I sold digital products on the side of my full-time engineering job. So I know how busy life can get and how difficult it can be to build this on a side hustle, right? So these are my tips for regardless of where you are at, because I've experienced all of these. So these are actionable tips that you can absolutely implement today. First things first, I have a free guide for you down below. If you have not grabbed the YouTube lead system, this is a free guide that I've created for you. It shows you how to turn your videos into sales. So what types of videos to create to make sales and how the funnel gets broken down from your viewer finding you and then eventually them converting into a customer. So again, that's completely free. You can grab it from the description box below. And exciting announcement, I'm actually hosting a 4-part live series starting next week. It's completely free to join. If you're on my email list, you will see some of the emails coming out. I think it's the end of this week and next week, reminding you of this live series. It's going to be so good. I'm really, really excited. I've been prepping for it. Let me just, actually, no, I don't need to do that. I was going to remove myself from the screen, but you can basically see everything here. So again, it's a free live series and I'm calling it videos that make sales because that's what we want, right? Like we want to make YouTube videos that will eventually convert our viewers into customers, right? And so it starts June 23rd. So next week. I'm hosting it exactly the way you're seeing here. It's just part of a series. So each day it's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Try to show up live. If you cannot show up live, then of course the replays will be available on my channel. And it does come with a free workbook. So I've put together a free workbook for you guys, and we're going to go through the exercises one at a time together. And you're going to even see my examples too. So if you have questions about the workbook or how to implement the strategies, I'm going to be there live to answer your questions. So it's going to be really, really fun. I've actually included the links to all of these upcoming lives in the description box below. So again, whether you're watching this live or you're tuning in the replay, check the description box and click on all 4 of the links for all 4 parts. And then you're going to see a button that says notify me for each one. There's probably an easier way to do this. I still haven't figured it out. I'm still kind of new to these live streams, but this was the easiest way that I could kind of figure out how to make sure you get notified for every single live that's coming. So just click on each one and then select notify me so you don't miss them when we go live. Okay, so let's get into it. So what life looked like before batching. So for the first 2 years of my channel, I did everything one video at a time. And actually, let me just back up a little bit because you might be asking like what batching even is. So batching is basically grouping the same tasks into one block of time. So for example, one task on my list would be filming YouTube videos. Like that's a task, right? I'm filming a YouTube video, but instead of filming just one, I can batch 2 or 3 or 4 videos in one sitting. I'm only focusing on filming in that block of time. Another block of time, I could just be writing emails. So maybe I'm batching all of my emails for like my weekly newsletters for the upcoming month. So you're focusing on just one task. Now, I did not batch my work for the first 2 years of my channel. While I was working full time, I focused on one video at a time for my channel. So it literally felt like I was running on a hamster wheel every single week. I would research a video, I would then script it, then I would film it, and then I would edit it, then I would design the thumbnail, then I would publish the video. This was all in 1 week. And then the following week, I would do the exact same thing. Research, script, film, like all of it. And it was so exhausting. So like I mentioned, like I was working full time. So keeping up with that cycle was really exhausting. It was just unsustainable and it was keeping me inconsistent. Like I would literally take breaks from YouTube for like weeks and sometimes even months. Like literally, I think I went like on 3 months of not posting anything because I was so exhausted with my full-time job and I just could not figure out how to stay consistent on my channel. Once I started batching, I was able to stay consistent. And because I was showing up more regularly, my leads and sales became more consistent too. So it's no secret that the more you post on YouTube, the more people are going to find you, right? Like it is what it is, right? You're going to get more traffic and then you're going to make more sales. Now, with that being said, I would not just encourage you to like exhaust yourself and try to post every single week just for the sake of showing up. Like I would rather you focus on quality content and post, let's say every second week, if that's what works best for you. It's just a matter of having a consistent rhythm. But with that being said, of course, if you can post every single week, that's best. So because I was able to do that with batching, I was making more sales. So I kind of already went through this, but what I want to kind of like explain a little bit more what batching means in case you're still wondering and you have not implemented this yet. So instead of going through the full production cycle every single week, you group the same type of tasks together and do them all at once. This applies to every part of the process and every task gets its own dedicated block of time. So I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by this in a bit. But the best part about this is that you stay in the same mental mode for longer instead of constantly switching gears, right? So for example, if you are scripting YouTube videos, your brain is kind of like it's focusing on just scripting. So you're staying in like the scripting mode and it's much easier to get more done in less time rather than constantly switching between different tasks. So The interesting thing is, I find a lot of people say they just don't have time for YouTube, so they focus more on social media. I don't know if you've ever felt like that. I know I used to. Like, I actually, fun fact, I actually wanted to start a YouTube channel for a long time before I finally did, but I felt like I didn't have time for it. So I just kept posting on Instagram. I was like, well, I can show up for my audience every single day if, like if I just post like a reel or a carousel or whatever, or stories or something like that, rather than filming like a 10-minute video and then trying to optimize it and all of that. So I thought I was saving time by just focusing on social media rather than committing to long form content on YouTube. But here's the reality when we compare the two. So when it comes to social media like Instagram and TikTok, you really do have to post almost every day just to stay visible, right? At least that's how I feel. Like, I feel like when I'm not posting every day, whether that's in stories, carousels, whatever it may be, I feel like I'm like it's hard to stay relevant, right? Like, and it's hard to stay visible for my audience. But whereas YouTube, you only have to post one video a week. You don't have to show up every single day. You post one optimized video a week and people continue to find you every day. With social media, content disappears in 24 to 48 hours. Like, if your video does not go viral, like your Instagram reel, for example, if it doesn't go absolutely viral, it basically disappears within 24 to 48 hours. And it's really difficult to attract new people into your world. Whereas on YouTube, videos compound over time because YouTube is a search engine, right? It's not a social media platform. It is a place where people go to search for solutions to their problems. They are typing in keywords in the search bar to find solutions. And when your videos are optimized, then yours will pop up. It could be months and years to come. So that was my next point here. So on Instagram, and like social media in general, you're constantly creating just to keep up. And the moment you stop, so does your reach. But on YouTube, the work you do today keeps bringing in leads and sales for months and years to come. So I hope you can see like how YouTube actually saves you time in the long run, right? Whereas I feel like social media, you're constantly having to work more and more. So here is what my workflow actually looks like, in case you're wondering like how long things take for me. So the first thing I do when I'm planning like my YouTube videos is I will brainstorm and research 4 video topics at a time. So I'm actually going to take you like kind of behind the scenes and show you what my Notion dashboard looks like. It is so basic, you guys. I don't have like a super complex Notion dashboard that a lot of people like to create for themselves. Mine is so simple, and you're going to see what it looks like. And you can feel free to create something similar. But basically, I brainstorm and research 4 video topics at once. So I will sit down for about 30 minutes to 1 hour and do my research and figure out like what video topics do I want to cover for the following month. Because keep in mind, I like to batch work. Like I like to batch all of like my content for the following month. So for example, right now, all of my videos for June they've already been filmed and they're being edited by my editor right now. So that's already done. Right now, what I'm working on is July content. So then I will script 4 videos. Now, 6 hours might sound like a lot, but I'm being fully transparent here. When it comes to scripting your video, you really have 2 options. You can either outline your video where you have like segment by segment, or you script it word for word. So if you're curious on what I do, I used to outline my videos. I didn't have a full-blown word for word script. Now, typically I have word for word, because I just find I'm really bad at improvising and I tend to ramble a lot. And I find that when I go to film and I have like a word for word script in front of me, I can film so much quicker. And I feel like I can tighten my scripts and my, like my explanations and everything so much more. So that is my preference. You do not have to script. So if I'm scripting word for word, on average, it takes me about an hour and a half per video. So that's why it's about 6 hours scripting 4 videos. And that is the longest like task. Like script writing, I'm just awful at writing, guys. I'm not, it's always been my weakness since I was in school. But yeah, so on average, it takes me about an hour and a half. If you're outlining your videos, it will not take you longer than maybe 20 to 30 minutes each maximum. And that includes some research, maybe gathering some stories and examples that you want to cover in your script. Then I film all 4 videos at once. So that'll take me about 2 hours. So that includes like the prep work. So that includes having like all of my gear set up, putting on my makeup, doing my hair, and all of that. And then I will film all 4 videos at once. And again, because it's easier because I've got it done word for word. And then I organize and send all the footage to my editor, which takes me about 1 hour. And don't worry, if you are editing your own videos, I'll get to that in a second. But typically what I'll do is I'll record all of my A-roll, which is me talking directly to the camera. And then any extra B-roll I need to send to my editor. So that's things like, you know, if I need to record me typing, me drinking coffee, like whatever B-roll I want to use, I will send all of that to my editor. And it takes me about an hour, give or take, to send all the footage to him, and he can go ahead and work on all of that content. And then uploading all 4 videos, it takes me about an hour. So by uploading, I mean optimizing it with keywords, coming up with the title, let's see, uploading my end screen, the description, things like that. So like basically the behind the scenes of like YouTube Studio of optimizing your videos before it goes public. So in total, that's about 11 hours in 1 month to plan all the videos for the following month, right? So that's typically a span of 2 days for me. So on a typical day, I will use, I'll use like 1 day to like brainstorm, research, and then I'll also start scripting. And then the following day, I will script all the videos. And then I will take an extra day mostly to film all of them because I kind of like have like a filming day. So it looks different every month, but on average, it takes me about 10 to 11 hours to actually put all of this together. Now, if you are editing your videos yourself, here are just like my 2 editing tips. First, hire an editor as soon as you can. I wish I hired an editor sooner because apart from scripting, editing does take the longest. However, there are definitely AI tools that I did not have access to back then. And you can, and a couple of examples that I've tested out. I've tested out Gling AI. You can look that up. They have a free version. I've tested that out recently because I just wanted to make sure like it does actually work really well, and I can recommend it to you guys. You basically upload all of your footage. You give it some instructions on what to do with the footage, like how much to clip out and things like that. And it will clip out all of the times that you have paused, you've made mistakes, you've said, whatever it may be. So it saves so much time. And Descript is another one that's very similar. I've heard really good things about it before. I've never used it, but I know some people that have, and they highly recommend it as well. I don't know if there's a free version, but yeah, so those 2 are very good for saving time in terms of editing. Now, in terms of hiring an editor, there are great places to check. Upwork, Fiverr. You can even go into Facebook groups that have video editors and find someone there. And they're all going to charge different rates, right? But there's definitely a range depending on your budget. It's just something I recommend when you're ready. And then thumbnail tips. I don't know if you noticed, but that was not part of my workflow. I don't design my thumbnails anymore. I used to. I think I did it for like the first 3 years of my channel. It was all me. I used Canva templates, believe it or not. I did not, like I used Photoshop at some point for like a little bit, but I'm not the best with thumbnail designs inside Photoshop. So you can absolutely use Canva templates to speed up the process and to help you out, especially if you're not a graphic designer. But this is another task that you can absolutely delegate. And you can, again, find really good thumbnail designers on Upwork, Fiverr. I know some people charge $15 a thumbnail and they're really good. Some will of course charge more, like up to $50 and even more depending on their experience. But again, there's different options to work with here. Now, this is like a tip that I feel like not a lot of people talk about, but I feel like this has just really helped me. Assign a location to every task. Having a specific location for each task makes a big difference. When you sit down in a familiar space where you always do that one thing, your brain shifts into that mode faster. So here's an example. For me, this is just what works for me. When I brainstorm or script, like those 2 tasks, I usually go to a coffee shop, a library, or a bookstore. So for anybody that's in Canada, I think Indigo, I think is Canadian, but I don't know if they have any in the States. But anyways, Indigo is attached to Starbucks, And I love going to Starbucks and then eventually like kind of like moving my stuff over to Indigo when it opens up. And I will typically work there when I need to really, really focus on scripting videos like that. I really need to like have super deep like concentration. So I have like assigned that location for that task. And I just find I get into like a flow state so much quicker because my brain like kind of just knows that coffee shops and the bookstore is where I'm writing. That's my writing day. And then for filming and editing, now again, like I have an editor, but when I used to edit, it was always at home. So when I film, I have a dedicated space at home. You'll kind of see like a little bit of like obviously you can see my background, but I am gonna flip the what's it called, the laptop over in a little bit when I show you my camera and teleprompter. But this is where I record majority of my videos, and because this is like my designated filming space inside our home, I'm able to switch to that like mode much quicker once I'm sitting here. And plus, if you can dedicate a space in your home that is just for filming, it is so much quicker to 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 film because everything's already set up, right? You reduce that friction of having to like put up the lights every single time, prep your tripod and your camera, make sure the background looks good, all of that. But I literally just sit and I just press the record button on my camera because I already have everything set up where I like it. Now, everyone's schedule looks different. So, like I mentioned earlier, you might be working a full time or a part time job. You might have kids, or you might be running a business at the same time. The key is to look at your calendar and find realistic time slots that you can dedicate to your channel. So, for example, when I used to work full time, the only times that I could work on my channel was after work, obviously, when I got home, or on the weekend. So, if you can even dedicate 1 hour every single day, like on weekdays, or maybe weekends work better for you. So, maybe you can dedicate 2 to 3 hours on the weekend where you just dedicate that to a very specific task, you'll get so much further than trying to manage all of these tasks at random times of the day. So just look at your calendar and really think like what is realistic for me to stick to, right? So for me, I could work from 5 to 7 on specific weekdays when I got home from work, right? On the weekend, I would basically use Saturday morning as my filming day. So like from when I wake, so I would do like maybe like 9 a.m. to like 11 a.m. would be just filming, right? So again, look at your calendar and dedicate time blocks that you can stick to. Okay. So before I kind of like show you a little bit on how I like to batch my work, like behind the scenes, I just want to remind you for anybody that's tuning in right now, I did announce earlier in this live training that I have a free live series coming up. It's going to be on my YouTube channel, just like we're going through here, but it's a full series. It comes with a free workbook. So I'm going to show you how to fill out the workbook. I'm going to give you examples, and it's all about videos that make sales. So if you go to the description box right now, you're going to see parts 1 to 4. Each one has a link to every single upcoming live. It starts next week and then it rolls into the following week. Just click on each link and then select notify me. There's going to be a button for each video that says notify me, and you will be able to, you'll know exactly when we're going live. So I am so excited for it, you guys. I've been working on it. It is so good. So you're going to learn how to attract your ideal viewer and how to convert them into customers for your business. Okay. So that is all down for you. Okay, so I'm going to show you my Notion dashboard. So like I mentioned, I'm going to take you behind the scenes. You're going to see how basic this is. And by the way, I just want to mention, if you guys have any questions at all, I've been doing some YouTube audits in the last few live streams. If you would like me to audit your channel, you can absolutely email me at hello@sanderd.co. Or you can go check out my Instagram, sanderd.co, and you can send me a DM. So I can absolutely do a YouTube channel audit on an upcoming live stream. Okay, so let me pull up. Hi, Jill. It's so good to see you. And I see more people from Canada. So great. I love seeing like more people from Canada because I'm from Canada, so it's great. Okay, so let me pull up. I'm gonna have to share my screen here. Let me just make sure I can pull up Notion. Actually, let me know, whoever, if you're here right now in the live stream, if you use Notion, let me know. where is it? Open Notion. Here we go. There we go. Okay, so I am going to share. So I'm gonna ask you guys if you can see my screen. One sec, share screen. Let's go to my Notion. Oh, I already had it open. That's great. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna share. Actually, let's make it like, wait a minute. Nope, that's not it. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Can you guys see that? Let me know if you can see that. Now, if you don't use Notion, totally fine. This is very, 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 very basic dashboard. I might have actually, I don't know if I can't remember if I shared this template. But anyways, if you are inside the membership already, you have access to this template. But okay, great. I'm seeing that you guys can see it. So I just want to kind of walk you through. It's so simple. So what I like to do, so this is a board preview. So for anyone that doesn't use Notion, you can preview your work in a calendar view, in a list view, in a board view. I like the board view because you can drag these over, and each one of these is a page. So I'm going to show you in a second what this looks like because I've created a template for each one of these pages. So I'm just going to bring your attention to the very top because this is how I've broken down all the columns. So the first thing as part of my workflow is coming up with the idea, right? So like I mentioned, the very first thing I do as part of my workflow is coming up with ideas for my YouTube channel, like which videos I want to cover on like for the next month. So I will take about 30 minutes to 1 hour and I set timers. Okay. So that's another big tip I really recommend. Set a timer. So if you're thinking, okay, for the next 30 minutes, I'm just going to brainstorm topics, set a timer, take away all distractions, turn off notifications, put your phone in a drawer, whatever it may be, put on some lo-fi music. That's what I like to work to, and just brain dump topics. Now, if you're wondering, what the heck do I even cover on my channel? We're going to cover all of that in the live series coming up next week. So make sure you are clicking on the links below to get notified. I'm going to cover in detail how to come up with really good topics and how to conduct research. So I will spend about 30 minutes to an hour. So these are all topics that I have researched in the past. And let's just pretend I took 30 minutes and I came up with these 6 different topics, right? So that's my task that's done. Either the same day or the following day, I will, or actually no, before I do that, I will basically choose 4 video topics that I am going to work on for the next month. So let's pretend here. Let's, you know what, just so you're not confused, I'm going to move all of these as if I'm starting from scratch. So let's pretend all of these are all the tasks, and I'm going to take myself off screen so you can see the whole screen. One sec. There we go. Okay. So let's pretend these are all the videos I just researched and I brainstormed for the 1 hour that I've blocked off. Then I'll make a decision on the 4 videos that I want to work on at once for the following month. So let's pretend I like this one, and this one. So now I'm moving it to the next task in my workflow. So these tasks, the next column is title and thumbnail. So the first thing I always say, believe it or not, your packaging is way more important than the actual content in the video. I know that's wild. Well, they're both equally important. The content has to be really good. Don't get me wrong. But if your packaging, which is the title and the thumbnail of your video, is not enticing enough for someone to click, they're never going to watch your video. So it doesn't matter how good it is, right? So you want to go from idea to coming up at least with what am I trying to say? Not a theme. There's like a word that I just can't think of, but basically the idea of like your title and your thumbnail. Now that's going to drive me wild. Oh, I can't think of the word. Okay. Anyways, so the next thing I will do is kind of plan out what my thumbnail might look like. I'm not designing the full thumbnail. I'm grabbing inspiration, like screenshotting thumbnails, either from other creators that I really like, that I think I can take inspiration from, or that my thumbnail designer can take inspiration from when designing the thumbnail. And I'll also screenshot thumbnails from my own channel that have a high click-through rate, right? Like a high CTR, and I will include it as inspiration. In fact, you know what? Let me just open one of these so you can see what these pages looks like. So I think I started scripting this. I want to show you one that's blank. Do I have one that's blank? Hang on. Is it this one? Yes, this is blank. Okay. So this is what the page looks like. I want to make sure you guys can see that. Yes. Okay. So when I click, each one is a page. So this is how I like to break it down. So inspiration, I will link any other YouTube videos that I can take some inspiration from when structuring this video. So if I can find maybe a similar video with a similar topic that I can maybe take inspiration from on how they structured it, maybe I like the editing style, all of that. Maybe I want to either refer to it when I'm editing or send it to my editor to refer to. So that's inspiration. And then the title. So I'll come up with title ideas. I typically like to come up with maybe 4 to 5 different titles. And we're actually going to go over that in the free live series on like how to come up with a good title. So stay tuned for that. But I'll write down like title ideas here. Then thumbnail. This is where I drag in screenshots. It's literally just a drag and drop. So you screenshot like thumbnails and all that, and you would just drag it into that section. And then hook, script, and SEO. So the hook, I actually typically like to write the hook last because I like to script my video first word for word, and then I'll write the hook at the very end. So and then sometimes I'll write the hook first. It just depends on what the video is all about. But so yeah, there's a section for hook. Or sorry, I'm getting a little bit ahead here. So the first thing is under the column title and thumbnail, we're just focusing on inspiration, title, and thumbnail. Now, once I've gotten the screenshots for the thumbnail, that's when I'll drag it into the next column of the workflow. Now we're scripting. So now I would go in and start writing out. I would start writing out the hook, and then I would start writing out the script. So that's why you're seeing some notes here for me previously working on it. But I would batch, right? So like I'm working on all 4 scripts either in one day, or I would work on it in 2 days, maybe 2 scripts in one day, because scripting just takes a lot of mental load, like mental space, and just energy. So once I'm done all those 4 scripts, then I'm ready to record, right? So I'm ready to film. So as soon as I'm done scripting all 4 of these, I'll move them into the workflow. So the reason I like to do it this way is because I like to know, first, I like to have a bank of ideas on the side here if I'm struggling to come up with video topics. But also sometimes it doesn't always look this clean, because sometimes I'll have like a bunch under title and thumbnail, and then I'll script, and then I'll change my mind and move them back into idea. But this is kind of like ideally, like how I like to work. So then I would record all 4. Once I have a filming day, right? So I'll record all 4 of these videos. So I know which ones I need to record and get to my editor. So once I've recorded all 4, I move these into edit. So for you, if you're editing your videos, you know which ones are on the list for you to go ahead and edit. And then I won't go through this too much, but basically the next few columns I have are SEO. So search engine optimization. This is where I do some research to figure out what keywords to include in my tags, in my description, and maybe try to include in my title as well to have a better chance at ranking and search traffic. So that's SEO. And then if they've been published, I would put them into publish. And then I'll choose if I want to repurpose that video into, let's say, an email, like a newsletter, or into Instagram posts. Typically, I'll do like an Instagram carousel that repurposes, like I basically use the same information that I've taught inside the video. So that is what that looks like. So again, so easy, so basic. It's just a board view. And I just want to show you the template like one more time. Very, very easy. And of course, like it looks much messier when I fill all of this out, but that's the workflow I've been working through for the last, I think, 2 years now. And it's helped me stay very, very consistent. Now, I just want to show you just real quick. Again, this is totally behind the scenes on what my teleprompter looks like. So if you are thinking of, let me just bring myself back up here. Okay, so if you are thinking of scripting your videos word for word, then I do recommend using a teleprompter. So I want to show you guys something. Wait one sec. Let me pull this up properly. So I'm going to show you, hopefully you guys can see this. So this is the app I use. It's just called Teleprompter. Do you guys see that? So Teleprompter, hopefully you see that. But anyways, so I will pull up a script, record. Just looks like this. So basically what I do, hang on, let's see if I can show you guys. So I'm going to turn you around. This is what it looks like. That is my camera with the teleprompter. So this I got a couple of years ago. I can't find the link to this, which is driving me nuts. I wanted to share it with you guys, but you can get a very similar teleprompter from Amazon. So basically, I can't tell if this is upside down, guys. Wait, let me just see. Hopefully you can see that. But basically, just show you. I put my script like that, and I just press play when I'm ready to record. And that's why, here, hopefully, I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. See? That's what it looks like. And it makes recording so much easier. Okay. So if you have questions about the teleprompter, I love it. I love it so much. With that being said, I don't recommend using it if you are if you're just getting started. Using a teleprompter can be a little bit annoying because you have to kind of figure out how to use it with your camera and things like that. And I don't want to cause more friction for you. But if you feel like you tend to ramble a lot like me and you want to tighten your scripts and writing word for word will really help with the filming process, then I do recommend it. Also for me, I tend to get very frazzled and annoyed when I'm trying to improvise my script and I can't figure out what to say. So if you're like me in that way, a teleprompter is going to be life-changing, truly. Okay, so I just want to pull this up just really quickly one more time because I want to, for anybody that's tuning in right now, here we go. Just as a reminder, the free live series, Videos That Make Sales, is starting next week. So all 4 parts are linked down below, and you can select notify me under each one so that you do get notified when I go live. So this is going to come with a free workbook. We're going to go through specific examples, how to fill all of this out. You do not want to miss it. It is going to be so much fun. So make sure you're clicking notify me down below. And just as a reminder, if you wanted to check out my membership, Vision to Views Academy, this is where I walk you through step by step how to grow a YouTube channel and how to sell your educational digital product. So I always like to congratulate all the members that have been joining us through these live streams. It has been so exciting to welcome you guys. So if you're curious, just go to hellosandra.com/Vision to Views Academy. And I've also linked it for you down below. You can go check it out. There is a monthly option and there's an annual option as well. We meet every single Friday where I answer all of your questions. And if you can't attend, then the replays are uploaded to the members area. So if you have any questions on that, feel free to send me an email or send me a DM and we can chat through it. Okay, so that's all I got for you for these slides. I was so excited to share how kind of the behind the scenes. If you have any questions on kind of again, where to get a really good teleprompter, if you guys want me to create any videos on how to use Notion, that's also something I'm more than willing to teach you. I could actually do even a live stream on how to set up your own Notion dashboard if that's something you're interested in. So if you are tuning in on the replay, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. This was so much fun, and I will chat with you very soon. I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye.